YouTubers, gamers, and moviegoers, what's going on, guys? I'm the Messiah, this is Messiah Entertainment, and today we are reviewing King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. See that? Courtesy of Warner Bros, because I got to see the movie like 2 weeks in advance. Thanks, Warner Bros. Haven't been able to get this review out in a while, but here we are today. So guys, this movie is obviously the retelling of the story of King Arthur, where he pulls the sword out from the ground, Excalibur, and he reclaims his claim to the throne. In this time, it stars Charlie Hunnam. I think it's Charlie Hunnam. Charlie Hunnam plays the titular role, shows his rise from a small boy growing up in a brothel to eventually taking up the mantle of being the king and leading a revolution against the current king who stole it from his father. You know, drama, all that stuff. So guys, I'm gonna just talk about the things I did like and the things I didn't like. So first off, the things I did like, I totally like the beginning, the origin of King Arthur in this movie. So, you know, it has that iconic Guy Ritchie style where, you know, it'll be like, you know, cut, move, slide, this way, up, left, right, and you know, it does it really quickly, sort of similar like how Edgar Wright does some of his stuff, but just very, you know, Guy Ritchie has a distinct style, everybody knows what that style is. You know, that really helped to tell the story in the beginning in a very short and kind of condensed way that kept it kind of interesting. You know, you could have done the long route where, you know, maybe he's narrating or, you know, some other kind of thing where you just show it scene by scene, and you know, that kind of gets boring after a while. To do it in this way kept it really fresh and interesting, and I really like that. Also, I like Charlie Hunnam. I think it's Hunnam. Charlie Hunnam in this movie. I like him. He's a great actor. He was great on Sons of Anarchy. I actually liked him in Pacific Rim. So to see him in this role, I thought he did a good job, and I like Jude Law as well. I thought they both did very well in this movie. And that whole upbeat, you know, feeling and style that Guy Ritchie brought to it, with the music not really always being 100% from like that medieval times-ish sort of era, I thought that helped make the movie a lot more interesting than, say, a lot of other fantasy films that, you know, they kind of stick specifically to what fantasy films do and use, you know, old-time music, and that's great, and I love that. Like, I mean, come on, Lord of the Rings is like one of my favorite movies, but sometimes it runs the risk of getting a little boring, and I feel like Guy Ritchie's style and editing and stuff like that really helped push the story along, because if his style wasn't in that, I don't know, I think I would have disliked this movie a lot. Because besides those things, honestly, the movie was kind of just anime. I mean, besides the main characters, the side characters, I didn't really find myself caring too much for them. I didn't really know too much about them. They kind of just plopped onto the screen, and then, you know, like the guy from Game of Thrones who plays Littlefinger, he's in there, but he pops up early in the film. But, you know, when he comes back, I'm like, I'm not really sure if I should really care for you, because, you know, there's like things in there that allude to, you know, people who betrayed or wronged him in the past, and I was like, I don't really know. I don't really care. You know, the black guy who used to serve his father, but now is fighting with him, and this new resistance he's forming up. I don't know. There was a female mage, and you know, she was able to do some pretty cool stuff. But I mean, it would have been nice to see a little bit deeper into her character and stuff like that. But we never really get that. They're kind of just there. Also, the action goes from anywhere from being kind of cool to somewhat unintelligible. I mean, there's some scenes where like he has like the sword. It's in the trailer where he has the sword doing the cool slow-mo powerful stuff where he's breaking other people's swords and throwing people left and right. And some of those moments are cool, but there's some points where the scene just kind of, you're not able to tell what's going on. He'll just start swinging and you'll start hearing ching 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 ching, but there's so much dirt and dust flying around. There's no sign of what the character's doing at all. There might be one guy flying in the distance in slow motion, but you can't tell anything else of what's happening. And yeah, I thought it could have been done a little bit better. Also, the ending of the movie kind of just turns into a video game boss battle. Like, down to the actual villain looks a whole lot like Shao Kahn. You know, and then the villain does so many cliche things like not killing the hero when he's down, and instead decides to look out over the distance for some reason. I'm just wondering, like, why don't you kill him? It's like basic predictable villain stuff, and that kind of just took me out of it for a minute. It just kind of made me say, oh, come on, really? I mean, the rest of the movie kind of, it was okay, and then the ending of the movie just kind of happened, and I was like, that was a little weaker than I was expecting. I was expecting a tad bit more. Though the regular action isn't half bad, where they're just regularly swinging swords. It kind of does that fantasy movie thing where they have to do some quick cuts so that, you know, you can tell they're not actually stabbing people, which gets annoying to me, but it's not the first time I've seen it. I mean, even Lord of the Rings does it many times, so I can't really cut them. I'm cutting them a bit of slack on that one, but the fighting in that sort of area where it's just them actually swinging practical props on set, that stuff wasn't half bad, and I wish they'd done a little bit more with that as opposed to doing it full-on CGI mode of, you know, honestly, like 2 video game characters just fighting on screen. I wish they had done a little bit more with that. However, I can't say that I didn't enjoy this movie. I thought I had a pretty fun time with it. I did enjoy it. I thought it was very enjoyable. You know, I'm a big fan of any kind of fantasy thing. While it's not obviously like the next Lord of the Rings or anything, if they made a sequel to this, I'd probably go check it out. At the end of the day, guys, I'm gonna have to give this movie a 6 out of 10.
Great kid, don't get cocky.
Slightly above average. I thought it was okay. I think you guys might enjoy it. I would definitely recommend you guys go check this out. Again, shouts out to Warner Bros. For letting me see the movie early in this cool hat and a poster somewhere over there. I don't know where it is. But yeah, I would definitely go recommend you guys check this movie out, but that's just my opinion. I'm sure you guys got your own. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of King Arthur, Legend of the Sword? Did you love it? Did you hate it? As always, you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, guys. Please check me out on my other channel, Director's JXM. We got cool skits and short films for you guys, including Star Wars Reprisal, short film I did not too long ago. Be sure to check that out. I run the channel with my boy Johnny Lee. He has his own channel on JXB Entertainment. Be sure to check that out. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. On the side, this is Messiah Entertainment. See you guys next time. Peace.